What's good, guys? We got my wife Elizabeth here giving her updated Ginyu Force deck profile today. Just been smashing everybody with it lately. It's just been really good, and we just wanted to bring you this new deck profile. We got some new cards in there, so take it away, Elizabeth.
Hey everyone, so this is 2021 Ginyu going on. He has the same ability front and back that when he attacks, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a green Ginyu Force card with energy cost 2, you can play it and then you draw a card. And his Awaken is either you can have 4 Ginyu Force in play, or if you're at 4 or less life, as usual, then you flip him and you draw 2 cards.
You're going to be using the Ginyu Force mode a lot more often.
Yeah. And on his backside, as said, same ability. And then he has this once per turn activate battle, where for a green, you can choose one of your Ginyu Force and give it plus 10k power. It doesn't come up super often, but can help you either save a card or, get the winning hit in sometimes.
And you can use it on both players' turns, so that's kind of cool too.
So obviously, as we see this ability, one of the most important parts of the deck is the boys, the squad. And I will just kind of bring them out here for you. There's Goldo, Raccoon, Jace, Berter, and kind of this extra card that's been an addition from, last year, is Ginyu Force, the Showstoppers! So all of these count as a Ginyu Force.
We got 4 of all of them.
Yeah, 4 of each one, and the Showstoppers can count as any of these, which makes it just ridiculous. As you will see, all of these are unique, but the Showstoppers are not. So we'll start with Goldo, which is kind of the main thing that sets up your deck. He has an ability that you dig 5, look at them, and put them back in any order you want, and you can put them as many as you want on the top or bottom. So, you'll try to get him out, you'll set things up, and then you can swing with your leader and hopefully hit another boy. A great way on turn 1 or 2 to get him out is to throw Raccoon down, because Raccoon brings another one of your boys in play. So you play Raccoon, you can get a Goldo for free if it's in your hand. Play a Raccoon, get a Jace, a Berter, a Showstopper.
All of them, except Raccoon.
Yeah, except Raccoon, because he's unique. So once he's on your field, he's kind of just garbage, but he's great for getting things out. That does remind me, Goldo has another ability that I always forget about and rarely use. You can actually use his activate main from the drop, right? You discard him from your hand, and you can use his ability, but just for the top 3.
I've never seen it come up ever, but it is an option.
It is an option. If you couldn't get him into play, you could do that to hopefully set something up for your leader. So Jace, you swing with him. On swing, you look at the top 3. You can draw a Ginyu Force of any of your Ginyu boys, including some of the other ones, the bigger boys. And then you put that into hand, and you can put the other 2 back in any order, top or bottom. Berter has kind of a similar ability, only he does it at the end of turn. He stands back up into active mode. He looks at the top 3, puts them back in any order, top or bottom.
And he's a blocker, then.
And he's a blocker. So one of the things, though, that has really helped this deck is this Showstoppers card here. So it has the permanent that it's all of these, as I said. And then, so if you have 2 or more energy, when he attacks, and either does damage on your opponent or removes a marker on your unison, you just get to look through your deck and play one of these boys for free. Just can't be himself.
It's just dumb.
So kind of the turn 1, turn 2 setup is to play a Raccoon, get out Goldo, look at your top with your Goldo. If you're on the play instead of the draw, or you're on the draw instead of the play, then you can swing with your leader. You've set up a Showstoppers on top to play it. Then, you can swing with Showstoppers, do damage on their leader or their unison if you can, and then just go dig for a Jace. swing with Jace. You've got 4 boys there. You can awaken, draw 2 more.
Yeah, you're awakened with 8 life. It's pretty cool.
So, as I said, this is kind of the core of the deck right here. You got to get these out. You have to really play all 4 of each of these to make the deck work. One of the secrets is you really don't care that. Like, you can get them out, but once they're out and in play, if your opponent kills them, you don't care. You can get out 4 in 1 turn easy. So more of the kind of support and the rest of the backbone is this literally Ginyu Backbone of the Force.
4 of those.
And this Ginyu Body Snatcher.
And 3 of those, right?
There's 3 of these. Kind of go together. So this, if you have 4 of your 2 drops in play, then this can be played for free. So as said, it just has to be 1 of each, but the showstoppers counts as any one that you're missing. And so he comes out, he's free, he's a 15k, but you can, when you put him into play, switch him with a card on your opponent's battlefield. So he's doing his change now.
He's like the old red 3-drop Ginyu from the old days.
So that's really great if you want to take away a blocker, if you want to take away a big, chunky thing that's swinging at you.
Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan.
Yeah, Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan. I messed someone up real bad recently by doing that. Any of those things are great. So either, and sometimes it's not always great, but it can be nice just to take away something of theirs to mess up their game plan. Mm-hmm. You do give them this 15k beater, but it's just a vanilla 15k.
And it's a 1-for-1 trade. You're just swapping them. So.
But what's great is if you swap with them, take something that neither of you really care about, or something that they really care about, and then you can kill it with the Body Snatcher.
And play him out for free.
And play him out for free by killing it. He is a 20k with Double Strike that gives all of your other Ginyu Force cards plus 10k.
On play, right? On
play, yes. He gives them on play for the turn. So obviously, if you have swung all of your guys, which sometimes happens, sometimes you'll have, Goldo, you'll do your Raccoon, you'll do your Jace, you'll swing your leader and have finally gotten that showstopper out. You swing your showstopper, can get something else, get your birder. And at that point, maybe you then picked this up off of, off the Jace or something like that. It might not be worth your time to do that right then, but you can leave that thing you stole in play until next turn and kill it then. So, it's just kind of a nice 1-2 combo. This really helps set up, some good damage. And also, as you'll notice, you had, if you had 4 boys out, that's 4, 6, 8. And then you drop one of these in and you'll have 12, whether it's this one or this one, which you'll see in a moment means big things for the deck. If you don't see it's coming, it's Xeno. But right before we talk about that, actually I might just pull that out. So as you'll see, one of the big things is you'll get to 12, you can successor them and play the Xeno.
And it's good, you can get them out on turn 2.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Everyone knows Xeno here. He's a big chunker. He demolishes them.
Yeah, he sucks. I hate him.
You will never get to his final ability, but you really don't need it. So, it gives him dual attack.
And it rips 3 random cards from their hand. So it's good if you can charge energy up to 5 if you somehow get there, but the game plan's really to play him on turn 2.
I, never charge up to 5 energy. Yeah. Even on turn 5 or 6, it's very rare to do that.
Yeah.
Because you really just need your cards in hand. But that's kind of one of the big game plans for the deck. That's your big win con.
That's your cheese.
So I'll talk about Ginyu Helix Strike and Frieza's Call. These are some old tech cards that are just still really classic, really great.
4 of each, right?
4 of each, because, you need it. Ideally, you'll charge a yellow on turn 1, because then either you can Frieza's Call and pick up the Raccoon, which then can play something from your hand, like Goldo or Showstoppers. Or if you have both of these, sometimes it's great, and you already have like a Raccoon or something in hand, you can charge the Frieza's Call and tap it and play the ability on the Helix Strike. If you don't know what it does, it looks at the top 3 for 1. You take a Ginyu Force, I think it's any Ginyu Force, right? Any Ginyu Force to your hand, and then you play a Ginyu Force that costs 2. Put it into play. So, you could draw, the Body Snatcher, put it in hand, and then play a Birder that's already in your hand or something like that. So this is just a one cost that
puts a 2 cost into
play. You do have to then take the other 2 cards you looked at with this and put them on the bottom, which is unfortunate because sometimes you have to strategically set up your Goldo so that you are looking at the top, 3. You take one, you put the other 2 in the bottom, but then you still know what those other 2 cards are or something like that. You have to know that you're going to throw those away. You can't put them back on the top. So these are just classic things to help you get more things into play with 1 energy each. We just have 2 of these powerful Bond Ginyu Force cards. They're often just energy, but they do pump, so you can combo with them when you have a whole board of boys, and it gives all of your Ginyu Force plus 5k. So it can be nice, some nice anti-beam tech. Or, usually I just charge them, or it's just a nice combo.
And you can grab, they have the Ginyu Force trait, so you can grab them off of all your stuff, too.
You can grab them, which helps, keep your Helix Strike live.
And your Jace, too.
Your Jace, things like that. The one of Cold Bloodlust, because it's Cold Bloodlust,
Ginyu is a Frieza's army leader, so...
Yeah.
Stops Topo and, all those, kind of Floodgate nonsense. You can anti-Floodgate with it. It's nice.
Yeah, or, stop their big Chungus from murdering you, so also, you can get there the next turn.
You get to play 2 secret rares, because, it's dumb.
Essentially. To go along in a similar successor vein, we have this Lord Slug, Youth Regained. If you have the Xeno in hand and can do it, make sure you don't play these out first, because it does have this ability on it that essentially says you can't successor these away.
Because, it goes to the warp instead of being dropped, and successor requires you to put them from the play into the drop, so that's why it has that permanent on it.
Yeah, it's just essentially to stop you from putting these out and then sell Xenoing, because that would be really stupid.
Or just looping them on themselves.
Yeah. So, if you have... these options in hand, try to make sure you look at what your board state is and what you could get up to. I have made the mistake of throwing the wrong one into the drop and then kind of having the board state to get the other one that I wanted, but, it's kind of all a decision.
These are mostly just for going tall if you need to go tall.
These are really great. You just pay a green. You can get rid of 3 of your boys. He has double strike. And he's a 25k, and then he has this Bond 3 ability, which is really easy to get to with your Ginyu boys. Even if you eat 3 to play 1, you easily then can play another one off your leader.
And
off another...
he counts himself toward it, too. So
yeah, so you just need 2 other boys in play. And even if you don't have it, he's still a 25k double strike.
For 1.
Yeah, but his ability is when he attacks, you can choose up to 1 of your opponent's cards in hand and discard it, or choose up to 1 of their battle cards in rest mode and KO it. So it's just some nice tech to kind of pull things out of their hand or pull things off their board.
Mostly a 25k double strike for 1 to help you close out some games.
We have 2 of the Secret Identity Black Mask, just Mask saying, that we actually just went up to 2 because this has just been an incredibly great card, both for defensive reasons and for offensive reasons. It kind of helps just clears out their board, gets rid of things that are going to attack you.
Secret Identity Mask saying, what's there to say, right? It's just good.
Yeah, and it's, free for the overall price. And you might worry that this card can't get enough cards into the drop for one of these. But actually, when your opponent is seeing what you're doing, they often are
they're gonna focus your board a
going
lot.
at your board. You are always swinging your cards because you want to just get as much damage in as possible, and that leaves you open for them to swing at you. And you really don't want to waste your time protecting your board that you spent one energy building.
You can just build it again.
So it really just helps you put them in the drop. And
you also have you have the 4 freezes call and the 4 helix strikes, so they're just 1 energy and they dump in the drop, so you can get this set up on like turn 2 super fast.
Yeah, it's really easy.
You also burn your super combos really quickly in this deck.
Yeah. So then we have a negate package here. Just a small one, because we are very aggro. We're really hoping we don't need this.
These are for the other Cell Xenos that are going against you.
For the aggro matchup, we currently have 1 Homicidal Clone, 2 Shocking Death Ball. We're not quite sure if this is exactly the right match. I like Shocking Death Ball because, you know, usually turn 3, 4, or 5 when you get there, you do have often like 1 or 2 energy sometimes floating, and just having that energy to just say no, really easy. And if you're playing too many of these, you might not have the 5 in your drop. And on the other side, the Homicidal Clone can be great. Since you don't take your own life, you often can have 5, 6, 7, 8 life, even on turn 4 or 5.
You can just let them chip you down to 5, and then Homicidal Clones whatever their big chungus swing is.
Yeah.
So they're probably not sending like their triple strike at you first.
I feel like Shocking Death Ball can often be good. I mean, both of them are good for boards that go tall, but Homicidal Clones really helps you better for boards that go wide, since it also gives you the blocker.
Yep.
But also, Shocking Death Ball can kill either.
Shocking Death Ball, Shocking Death Ball. It's also good.
So they're all good. And then the super combo is Android 18, Bionic Blitz. It's just a great super combo.
Well, this one's good because you can awaken at any life total, and you're an aggro deck, so it's really easy to like just feed these out. And your opponent's going to have to be defending themselves with cards, and if you're chipping them away for extra cards, they're really going to be incentivized to start taking your hits on like your showstoppers and stuff, which is really important.
Yeah. So that's Ginyu. It's really straightforward in explanation, but it's not always super straightforward in play. Some of the things with, Goldo and Jace, and kind of setting up your next 5, 3 to 5 cards.
You've got to be looking a turn ahead or 2 a lot of the time, for sure.
It does take some practice and getting used to. I would say that once you got the gist of it, it's a lot of fun, and it's not that hard, but it takes a little bit of time. Even then, like, trying to plan for the Helix Strike, since you have to put the 2 on the bottom.
You gotta get your Ginyu brain set up.
As said, there's been many a turn when I've been like, okay, I have this Helix Strike in hand. Okay, look 5. Okay, well, I want this card. What 2 cards do I want to throw away? Put them, with it. But then I haven't swung with my leader yet, so put that one next. And it feels a little bit silly, but it works out once you get there. So that's the deck. I highly recommend you pick it up. It's kind of lousy and fun, but also can stomp really hard, so I highly recommend. So thanks everyone, thanks for tuning in, and make sure you like our videos and let me know if you have anything else you want me to talk about, and we'll see you the next time. Bye everyone.